And that has taken us to 0 viewers. Thank you, Twitch. Well, thank you, Spectrum. It's not Twitch that's causing my internet to crash, it's Spectrum. Oh, that also means my ad play is going to have reset. Frick. Oh. Is it still dropping? It's still dropping too, so that's not ideal. We need to get this fixed. I am frustrated. Frustrated by this thing that is happening. Can you see me? Are we still dropping frames? We are still dropping some frames. Again, we haven't lost it completely, but it's interrupted. We lost the first 20 minutes. Ugh. Thanks, OBS. OBS just welcomed me back. How are we looking? How are we looking? I don't want to do anything exciting until this sorts out. Ah, frick. Are we still blipping? We're still blipping. We're still blipping. Internet problems persist. Going to kind of stand here and look at it while it recovers. It's very choppy. If you're seeing choppiness, that's definitely on my end this time. I'm going to keep adding stuff to this bowl. Dash of cayenne. And then it wants sugar or honey. And I'm actually inclined to go with honey for that. Okay, we lost 4,400 frames, and also it interrupted the stream. But according to OBS, I've stabilized. So, I guess we're back. And I'm adding some honey to my this. Which is, oh, it needs some soy sauce. Just a little bit. Or does it? No, according to this, it needs the soy sauce. Unsure. Unclear. Signs point to no. Oh, shit. Caught it with the tip of my finger and flipped it. God, now I need to clean the lid. I have extra lids. I can just grab a fresh lid. Scapegoat. Hi. Welcome. I did, in fact, cut and spice the chicken in just 2 minutes. Definitely didn't just lose the stream. Definitely didn't just lose the first 20 minutes of stream to an internet outage. Hi, welcome. Hi, hello. Where's my lids? We're grabbing a fresh lid because that other lid now has chicken on it. We probably won't need the honey, but it's not like it's going very far. How's it going? So, this is not curry. This is an approximation of a satay, which I'm using as sort of a quasi stand-in for curry. We're going to add some just straight curry powder to the bananas down the line. Oh, I should not have put that in there because a bunch of my lemongrass stuck to it. Honey. But anyways, I am kind of riffing. We have a reference up, and we're going to switch to a different one when I make the peanut sauce. We want just a little bit of soy in here, not too much. And then we need to combine this with my hand, this hand right here. We want our spices to be evenly mixed and also the chicken to be well coated. We don't really want a pool of spices in the bottom. We want it to all stick. We'd rather have all of it come with us when we cook. So in that way, this is only kind of, it is a marinade. It's still a marinade, but it's not like the traditional marinade where you're immersing. But it's also not a dry marinade because we've added some liquids to this. Looks pretty good. Use the chicken to scrape the sides down a little bit. But howdy, Scapegoat. How's it going? What's up? What's your favorite kind of banana curry pizza? Oh, Alpha Femme. You caught me off guard. I was looking away. We don't have sound effects here on the stream. I make them myself. Welcome, welcome. Let me make a sound effect for you. Yay! Thank you so much for subscribing. It is September to all the people. Discount on subs, which I appreciate. And you get access to fun emotes, such as the ones Alpha Femme is using right now. Okay, this is going to sit. This has to sit for a while. And I wanted to get it done at the start so that it had the most chance to really, like, glue in its flavors. We're going to put it in the fridge, though, because I'm not sure how long I'm going to be before I get it. But welcome, thanks. Scapegoat is working at 1 a.m. Gross. 1 a.m., so you're in somewhere in like the Eastern Europe or Africa time zone region. Why are you up so late? Working. Finland. No, it's not a Finnish thing. I've talked to Finns and Norwegians about the Swedish pizza, and they are both, they're frequently aware of it, but they're appalled at the concept. It's definitely not spread beyond the borders. Chanterelle and reindeer. Oh my, that sounds like quite the thing. I can honestly say I've only ever had reindeer one time, and it was as a jerky, so it was not very representative of reindeer. So I probably don't know what reindeer tastes like. I imagine it's similar to other deer. Okay, part two. Part two, in which we have the second part. You may remember this torture device from the last time we had bananas on the stream. Jay! It's Jay. Hi, Jay. Welcome in. Let me make a noise for you. I made a noise for Alpha Fem. Jay is here. Thanks for subscribing, Jay. Part two. It's also a part two because our stream crashed and we lost the first 20 minutes. So there's going to be a fun broken up VOD. And you have triggered a hype train. You have triggered a hype train. The people, have a limited time to jump in with random nonsense that makes Twitch money. And me. Not going to count myself out. To push our hype train. Scapegoat. I got to come up with a new sound. I'm going to find a bowl. Scapegoat has also subscribed. Oh my God. It's all popping off. Thank you so much. Sounds. Let's hope this doesn't peak the mic too bad. That's your sound. That's the sound I decided that goats have now. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. It is, as I said, September. Wow. People turning out for me fixing Sweden. That's the goal today. We're going to fix Sweden. Something is wrong with Sweden. And it's apparently up to me to fix it. I have more bananas if this ends up not being enough bananas. I'm just going to kind of eyeball it. I know about how much sauce I need for a pizza. If you've never seen me ricer a banana before, we've only done it once. I've never seen anyone but me do this. I can do the screaming. I can do a goat scream. If we get another one, we're 3%. That's got to be like 2 bits or something. or 3 bits. We're so close. Oh yeah, it's Bit Day. I forgot about that. They're doing a bit promotion right now, where you get like random 10% more bits when people do bits. And I, foolishly, did not prepare any bits things. So if you donate bits to me, you can ask me to do something. And I will maybe do it. Oh my god. Oh my god. with the tongue out. Hey, that's a thing you can spend bits on, the on-screen celebration. Thank you so much, and thank you, Twitch. Twitch itself, first time chatter. Shows you how much they care. They jumped in with 20%. Jumping up to a hype train level 2. Is that going to be enough banana? We'll see once I've finished sort of bulking it up. We have things to do here. Is it? Because I had seen, actually saw on Frazwar's channel, he's got his giant emotes set to 10 bits, and it triggered, and he got 1 bonus bit. And I was like, that seems... I thought the limit was higher than that. But so there's no limit for... Interesting. No limit for the power-ups. Interesting. Well, I appreciate. I always forget that the big emote is also a bit thing, because it seems like it's the kind of thing that just should be a thing. So thank you for that. Thank you for the celebration. We've got, once I smash those up, they don't look as big. We definitely don't want to add any extra liquid to this. But we do want some tomato paste. And here's where I'm just going to cheat with some curry powder. We have Penzeys curry powder, which contains turmeric, coriander, cumin, garlic, black pepper, fenugreek, cayenne pepper, cinnamon, fennel, nutmeg, white pepper, cilantro. Should be fine. Cilantro pretty low. Cloves, cardamom, and ginger. There you go. That amount. And some extra black pep. And some salt. But not too much salt, just a little bit. We don't want the sauce to be extra salty, but we do want a little bit of salt in there to help wake up the tomato paste. And I got some basil. Now, my basil didn't grow real well this year, so I ended up buying some fresh basil. And I'm tempted to, like, mince it up really fine and put some of it into the sauce. You think that'll work? I mean, it'll work, but do you think that's worth it? Because we're not using basil as a topper at the end. But basil is an element of curries. But this is Italian sweet basil, not Thai basil. I'm gonna do it because that's why I got the basil. Maybe even just half that. We're doing it. Fresh basil's got a pretty good flavor on it. Traditional Finnish food is bland. Well, you do live very far north. I have noticed in my own exploration of cuisine that the farther north a culture lives, the less flavor they put in their foods. They tend to lean into fats and starches a lot more, and into vinegar, pickling a lot more. We might add some basil at the end for color. That's actually not a bad idea. Basil does go on pizza. I want this part to be minced up so that it has a better chance to incorporate into our sauce. This would actually have been a good use for dried basil. Dried basil is better at incorporating into sauces. We have completed that level 2 hype train. Oh, I missed it. What did I get? I got this. It looks like a drunk frog. So the sauce doesn't need to be very complicated, but I wanted to do it next because the flavors in it are going to want to have a chance to meld with each other before I put them on. So I don't want to prepare it right at the end. And also, it'll give a chance for the salt I put in here to dissolve. As for color, putting basil in the sauce now is not going to contribute to the final color because the basil discolors very, very quickly under heat. So once we bake the pizza, this basil is going to turn brown. It's just unavoidable, which is why you're supposed to add basil after you bake your pizza so that you get those green leaves on top. Doing it this way gives us a bit more of an infusion. And actually, oh, toot toot. Did you write that, or does that come from the localization of Twitch? If so, that's adorable and amazing. It's the localization. Wow, I'm actually impressed that Twitch has gone to the trouble to do that. That should be enough sauce. Our pizza is going to be this big. That should be enough sauce. And this does not need to be immediately refrigerated. Our dough has continued ballooning and should probably be tended to soon. I'm going to set that one aside, and we're going to come back to that down the line. The fun part. Is it the fun part? I'm going to preheat the oven. It just occurred to me that I need to preheat our oven. So we're going to crank that on, check and make sure we haven't left something in there that's going to burn, which I've done before. Peanut sauce. Now, I was going to use our fancy all peanuts peanut butter, but I'm not even going to show you. I tried breaking it up. It goes separating. And I don't use it very often, so it got really separated. And I tried breaking it up, and it turns out the bottom was just kind of like big chunks. I'll probably have to go through that with a tool or something to really blend it into a functional thing again. I just lost a couple more frames. That's not ideal. Oh. Well, it's good for them that they've got an actual, localization. At least. So for our peanut element, which when we made this the first time, I don't know if any of you were here when we made this the first time. I did it as a Swedish pizza spectacular. The peanuts were very disappointing. We're using Skippy. The peanuts were very disappointing. And I immediately thought, this needs to be a peanut sauce, not just chopped up peanuts. Now, ideally, it would be fancy peanut sauce or fancy peanut butter, because you can tend to be able to stir this in more easily. This is standard. It's crunchy too, so there's going to be bits in there. This has hydrogenated vegetable oil, cottonseed, to prevent separation, which means also that it's going to be a little bit more stabilized when we try to mix it. So we might have to add a little bit more liquid to get it to be like a runny sauce, because real satay sauce is supposed to be like a dip. And I'm not going to do it as a dip. I'm going to do it as a drizzle, which means I need this to get liquidy. Yes, the pizza is going to have peanut butter because the Swedish pizza, the Swedish pizza that I am fixing is a pizza crust, tomato sauce, mozzarella cheese, curry powder, sliced bananas, and chopped peanuts on top, baked, and ham or chicken. And the last time I did ham, and this time I'm doing chicken because I think I can incorporate that better with what I'm doing. It's such a bizarre thing, and it is such a bizarre thing. So yeah, what we're making is a peanut topping drizzle, because I thought that putting the peanuts on the pizza before baking it was bad. So instead, we're putting the peanuts on after. Peanut butter, yeah, that's the other thing. It just calls for, the standard thing is it's just peanuts, which is insane. Peanut butter, way easier to wrangle. I need a reference. Oh. No, we didn't lose any frames. Okay, good. Every time I search something, I'm afraid it's going to interrupt. Oof. Unstable internet. Spongy blobfish. It does sound strange. That's the thing. No one thinks this sounds normal, except the Swedes. Even most Swedes admit that it's definitely weird. Blah, blah, blah. I don't need any of the story. I hate recipe pages that are just a bunch of story. Okay, bunch of peanut butter. Dark soy sauce or tamari. Chili pepper. Fish sauce. Coconut milk. Not doing coconut milk, as previously suggested. Ground coriander. Sugar. The honey is coming back. We're doing honey. I dropped that spoon in the stuff. We're going to find out if it's tasty. Well, I was very disappointed with the original, which is why we're doing a fixed. I thought it was not great. I really liked the kebab pizza, which was another Swedish favorite. That one was quite good, very flavorful. The honey's back. Yep, we're putting honey in this as our sweetener. I rescued my honey recently. This was completely crystallized, and it was in one of those bear bottles, which are a nightmare to get crystallized honey out of, because the bottle itself wants to melt or expand when you heat it, and the crystallized bits get all up in like the texture. So this is a blended honey. It's part of a local honey and part of just a mass-produced store brand that came in a little bear. So it's half local wildflower honey and half probably mass-produced just clover. I wanted to say, I put it in a jar because then if it does recrystallize, in a glass jar now, so if it does recrystallize, I can just put this in some hot water and it'll melt without me having to worry about damaging the vessel. Oh, you'll have to, I could do the research. I could do some research on the topic, but off the top of my head, I don't really know the ins and outs of honey versus sugar. I know that it has a bunch of diet limitations because it has allergens in it, but also it can be good for allergies because it has very small amounts of some allergens in it. Ideally, you should always be eating honey that was produced local to where you live, because then you're getting local allergens in it, and it will help fix or help like soften your allergic response by giving you little bits of the allergies in a controlled way. That's soy sauce, standard run-of-the-mill soy sauce. Instead of chili flake, I'm going to give us a dab of chili oil. Fish sauce. We're going to go right for fish sauce. I think that sounds like a good way to amp this thing up a bit. We didn't use dark soy sauce. Dark soy sauce tends to be sweetened, so we will have to taste this for balance toward the end. This also wants the juice of a lime. I was going to zest our lime for something else. What was I going to zest our lime? Oh, I was going to put lime zest in the chicken. I'm going to say no and throw in some bottled lemon as a cheat. Any other spices I want? Well, I should probably mix it up and taste. Okay, I can tell you that this is going to go better with a whisk, so we're whisking. Hey, we're whisking here. Okay, it's very thick. Give it a taste. I like the little crunchy peanut bits in it. It's peanut forward, but it's also sweet and salty. It's definitely not overly salty. We could afford more liquid from the salty elements in there. We don't want to go too hard. It needs some more liquid regardless, because this is too thick for what I want to use it for. So I need to cut it with something. We can cut it with a little bit more lemon juice for sure, because it did not overwhelm me with acidity, and I think I want some more acidity. Frank's. Frank's is not a bad shout. I don't have any Frank's, but I have some Valentina and some Crystal. Where am I using this? This is going to be a topping drizzle on our pizza. I'm either going to add it after baking or right at the end of baking, because I kind of want it to not get completely burnt off the top. But I want it to, so it needs to be liquidy enough that I can do a drizzle. Here, let me. Definitely doesn't need any more fish sauce. The fish sauce flavor is there. But we can stand a little bit of soy. Everything that goes in this, vinegar. Actually, I'm going to give us a dash of rice vinegar, because I will not hate this being a little bit more acidic. Again, it's a topping sauce, so it can stand to be a bit punchy. And since it is peanut-based and quite fatty, it is already poised to do a pretty good job of balancing out that acidity without me needing to do much to it. We did have a sort of a golden shine to it, which it has lost a little bit. I think I've taken it back to brown. But it's much runnier. I almost want to just add just a dab of water. Let's taste it first. Ooh, yes, the acidity woke it up. That is awake. It's salty, it's savory, it's got just a tiny little pinch of sharpness in the back of your jaw. Perfect for a sauce. When you're making a sauce, when you taste it by itself, it should always be just a bit punchier than you want it to be. It should always give you just that little extra little punch. Because once you add it to whatever it's meant for, it mellows out. I do think I still want it to be just ever so slightly thinner, so we're going to give it that dash of water, because I don't want to mess with the flavor too much. A little bit of black pepper. It doesn't have any spicy to it. That little bit of chili oil I added did not dramatically impact the spice level. Okay, now that is what I was thinking for consistency. I'll be able to grab that with a spoon and do like a drizzle. And at this point, we could add a little bit of heat to it. I think we have room for some spice, because I didn't spice the banana sauce very heavily. So we could stand a little spice in this. What do we want to use for that spice? Jay suggested a dash of Frank's. Again, I don't have Frank's, I have Valentina. I have some Sambal Oelek. That would give us, that's Sambal Oelek. I have some Sambal Oelek. I need to stop saying that word. I have some gochujang. Gochujang. I have 2 fruit flies. They smell something. Tell you what. It's out of left field. It's definitely not an approved ingredient in anything near what we're doing today. But hey, let's just do that. See what happens. See what happens. The fruit flies have been especially bad this year. I know where they're coming from today because one of the bananas that I got a bunch of bananas. Got a bunch of discount bananas. And one of the bananas in the bunch, when I was picking some out to use today, had split and there was flies in the split. And I threw that one away, but of course the flies were in the house because they had found that one. So that's where they're coming from now. And now they're just wandering around because I took away the thing that they were after. And they're here now because the lights are on and they like the lights. So I understand why they're here, it's just it's annoying. I wish I would have caught them yesterday because then they would have cleared out by now. Oh well. Ooh, that's affected our color for sure. So gochujang is Korean. It's a Korean fermented, I was going to say bean, but I think it's actually rice-based. Red pepper paste, blah, 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 blah. Brown rice. So it's a fermented brown rice and pepper paste. Now that good stuff. Good stuff. Put that on your oatmeal. Quality stuff. Okay, we've got our sauce. We've got extra of this. That's fine because there's going to be extra chicken as well, and I can just combine this with the extra chicken and have leftovers. That'll be good. We're going to grate our own cheese. Crust sauce cheese. I want to put that stuff in one of these bottles. For drizzling. Check on the opening. Opening's very narrow. We won't get any of the chunks if we use this bottle. And honestly, the chunks are probably going to jam it up if we use that bottle. I got some bottles because we've frequently had problems where I wanted to drizzle something and all I had was a spoon. But you put it in here and you go, drizzle. This one has a much larger opening, so I think we're going to use this one. I know how to catch the flies. We've done that before. This will also be a place for me to just store my extra sauce when I'm done with it. And aside from the chicken, there's going to be onion on our pizza. And that's it. I don't want to go too crazy with extra toppings. I want to lean into the main elements. That's the plan. We need the small spatula. Oh, I just used the small spatula for pizza sauce. I wonder if I don't know where, actually, I have no idea how it's been like you, but around me it's been incredibly wet this summer. We had a stretch of 3 months where we did not go 3 days without rain. It's been incredibly wet, and I suspect that has increased some of the random bugs that we don't see super often usually. It also killed my lilac. I didn't like that. I didn't much appreciate my lilac getting blighted this year. It'll recover, but ugh, it looks gross now. It's all sticks. Okay. And if you're like this and you're doing a funnel and stuff doesn't go through your funnel, what you do is you grab a chopstick and you go down the middle and you give it a poke. And then it does the thing. Neat. On the plus side, I think all the rain prevented us from getting those fires from last summer. And there you go, bottled peanut sauce in our brand new bottle. I've been trying to get more containers that are appropriate for the things I produce. So we're putting stuff in jars instead of always keeping it in these Pyrex, in these. I put stuff in these all the time and then they just kind of sit around. Stuff is getting jarred, and now I've got bottles for sauces. This one with the red cap is banana ketchup. These bottles aren't terribly expensive. They are a little fiddly because they're quite a soft plastic so that you can squeeze them. But just, like, we don't have a camera angle on it, but the jars, like salsa verde in a jar, and then I can put another one on top, and they stack real nice. They got a really tight seal. So stuff just keeps way better and more compactly. Okay, the onion. We're definitely not going to need this whole onion. That's too much onion. And I would guess we don't even need a half. I think we need a quarter. Because once you start scattering it, I want to get all of our Mises Plast before I jump into the next phase of construction. And then while it's in the oven, we're going to be making the pizza salad. which is, I wrote it, actually that one I wrote down. Oh, there's some spots in my onion. That one I wrote down. Did I throw the instructions away? I did. That one's pretty simple. Pretty simple, but needs to be made. And the perfect time to do it is when the pizza is in the oven, because I will be waiting for it to bake. And that should probably be enough onion. Take one more slice just in case. I don't know why I picked red onion. I just, I don't know, sounded good. In the moment, it sounded good. Did we lose stream again? 50 minutes? I don't know. And those can just sit in a little dish. Okay. That's our onion, our sauce, our other sauce. We're going to grate the cheese. We need to pre-cook the chicken because you can't put raw chicken on the pizza in the oven. It won't cook through reliably. So we're going to pre-cook the chicken a little bit. So I guess that's the next step, par cook the chicken. So let's slide over. We haven't been over at the stove all day. For safety's sake, I'm going with the non-stick. And a dab of oil. I don't want my chicken to stick. Getting the chicken out of yon refrigerator. Oh. I had a feeling we were going to run a little bit long today. I lost track of time at the start, which is why we didn't start at 4:30, which is normally when I would like to start for these long ones. So, oh well. Fortunately, I had a pretty big lunch, so I'm not super hungry, so we can take our time and not rush this end. Good night, Scapegoat. Glad you could make it. Good to see you. Drop by again sometime if you find it, and thanks for the sub. I really appreciate it. Say, if you're not in my Discord, that's the best place to see pictures of my food when I'm done. Let me grab a real fast thing here, drop it off. If you want to see the Discord, I did catch that one. Oh, I caught him. I didn't squish him. Gently caught one of the fruit. Okay, well. Oh, there you are. Well, there'll be pictures later on if you want to see the finished result. Best place to see the finished result is there because it's the place that I least forget to post them. They're supposed to go on all sorts of places, but that's the one I least forget about. So, that I think is hot, so we're going to go in with our chicken. And there's way more than I need there for a pizza, which is the other reason I want to par cook it, just so that I have ensured that the extra I put away later is cooked. It is perhaps a bit too much for this pan. And then the pizza dough, which is getting really poofed up, and I probably should punch that down. If I only... What did I just go in there thinking about? I had a moment. I walked in there, I was thinking about something, and then as soon as I crossed the threshold of the other room, I forgot what it was. What was I looking in there about? I don't rightly know. I'm glad to see that our flavor mix here is sticking to our chicken even as it cooks. That's going to be quite good for getting a good flavorful result at the end. Let me tidy up real quick. Put my garlic and onion powders away. Put away a couple of things I had to dig out to get at that giant peanut butter. Like tapioca starch and cornmeal, both of which live here now for some reason. I don't know when they moved in. Is there space for a bottle of corn back there? There is now. So in the time we've been standing around, the pizza dough has completely filled its this thing and is pushing the plastic upward. So we probably should deal with that and punch it down. Real quick. This is a pre-made. I did not make my own pizza dough for this. We've done it in the past, but honestly, the pre-made stuff is quite good. At my local, it's not a local brand. It's not a store brand, but it's like fresh, not frozen pizza dough in a little bag. And all you really have to do is set it out in a bowl like this at room temp, and it rises. And if it doesn't rise, then you panic and run out and get a spare, and you put that one in a bowl, and it rises, which is what this one is. because the other one that you didn't get to see has been sitting in the same warm window for twice as long And barely. I just took a peek at it, and it's a bit funny. So this needs to be punched down. Oh, and I need to stir my chicken. We're on that back and forth, losing our focus. Ooh, we're getting browning on the edges. I don't want too much browning here because we're going to get that in the oven. So we do need to tend our chicken and make sure we're not getting too much browning here. Otherwise, chicken's looking amazing. It smells so good. This is one of those things where somebody needs to invent a smell-o-vision, because, good Lord, this is glorious. Honestly, it's probably par-cooked enough. I know you're not supposed to play around with chicken, but it's firm, and we're going to bake it as well. And it's going to be poking right out at the top. So it's going to get the full brunt of the oven heat. So I think I'm just going to say it's good, and we can slide over and do our construction. For which we need the pan. Oops. Slide over. We need to punch the air out of this guy. And scrape him away from the sides. And then we just gently coax him out to fill the space that we're working with here. And in theory, it's sticky enough that it should just cling to this pan. We've fought with this pan in the past, and I think my ultimate decision with it is just let stuff be sticky, because it's a non-stick pan. So trying to add an additional non-stick with flour or oil is a bit redundant. And if we push it out like this, we can use the pan to help shape the pizza, and it's slightly sticky still, so the pan holds the pizza in its shape. Okay. Calling that good enough. Grabbing a spoon, we add our we add our banana sauce. It's not tomato sauce, it's banana sauce, of course. That's how foolish of me. How could I get that confused? And I think we have just the right amount. 2 bananas was perfect for this size of pizza. And I am pushing it out pretty far. I don't really want a lot of thick crust on the edges. Not a big fan of thick crust on the edges. I prefer just a very narrow strip of crust whenever possible. And the sauce, however far out you push it, helps prevent the base from rising too much. See if I can get this open. I cannot. For maximum making this good, we're using fresh, low moisture mozzarella. I should grate that into a dish. So far, all the flavors, I think, are on point. I think this is going to work great. The question is, will it work as a pizza? Will we end up with sog like we've done in the past with our experimental pizzas? The biggest danger I always run into is just that unusual toppings on a pizza are often unusual because they don't, not because they're not delicious, but because they don't work structurally very well. So others have tried and ruled them out. Pizza is so ubiquitous in the modern age that I feel like just about everything has been tried. We need more cheese. Half a block of cheese here. I could potentially use the whole block of cheese if I wanted to really go ham, even though we aren't using ham today, we're using chicken. But that should be plenty of cheese. I don't want to go too nuts. Cheese is an odd element. Cheese is a normal element on pizza, but considering what else we've got going on, cheese does not really go with anything else that we've currently included. And it's only really here because it started out here. Okay. We are cheesed. We are, as Kay would say, hognoned. And then we're going to perch our chicken, which is not a fish. It is, in fact, chicken, atop this. And I'm going to be extra fussy with it and use chopsticks. We're going to carefully, artfully arrange these so it looks like they have been haphazardly scattered. Some of our chicken pieces actually ended up being a little bit too big for this, which is fine. I'll just have to remember to use this stuff and cook them a little bit more. Some of these probably need a little bit more before I eat them, which they're getting here in the oven, in the pizza. But for my leftovers, I'm going to have to give them a quick shot touch up. That one. That one. There. That looks like I've scattered them across the top. Yeah, and I'm not putting the peanut sauce on until the end, so I guess we put it in the oven. And then we come back and we make our pizza salad. Okay, in the oven. "10 minutes on the clock, we'll check on it. While it is baking, we have more work to do. I've got little baby cucumbers. And I've got cabbage. I feel like this one is going to work as well. I feel like everything we've done. The thing is, the ingredients we're working with. Wow, I just bought this. I literally just bought this, and there's a brown spot. You know, it only went 1/4 inch deep. All the things we've done to it, I agree. I can't see this not being great. But also, the ingredients we've included are the same ingredients that were on the original thing. We've just used a different technique. That's the main difference here. And that's kind of what the impression I got Granted, we've added quite a few ingredients, but mostly they're seasonings, not like major. In fact, they're all seasonings. They're all seasonings. And that was kind of the impression I got when I tasted it the first time, was just that there's something there. It just needs to be not done so literally. It just needs to be more of the spirit and not the letter of the law. Well, I must be running late. Everyone's hecked off. Or my thing's broken. We did lose some more frames. I keep blipping. No big blips since the big blip, but little blips. I'm gonna need a bowl. Jay's still here. Jay's always still here. You won't leave me, Jay. Another thing is the cabbage needs to be like shredded. Not just sliced, but like little shreds. We're going to fold that over to make that easier on me. So my recipe for this pizza salad is shredded cabbage, finely shredded cabbage, not coleslaw level shred, but like what I'm doing here, oregano, salt, pepper, olive oil, and rice vinegar. And then you're supposed to let it kind of hang out in its juices for a little bit. Presumably the salt and vinegar helps soften up the cabbage. And I'm adding some cucumber and a couple two slight add-ons in the form of some sesame oil and some chili flakes, which will take us in the direction of a cucumber salad that I saw and thought sounded really good recently, and which would be a good accompaniment if we were just making the chicken satay. I'm not going to use the bottoms of the cabbage leaves. We're not going to try to salvage that bit. We're also going to cut the rest of this cucumber, but the smart way. For being brand new cucumbers, they're a little soft. Okay, that with some salt, some pep, some oregano. I think the bad weather has affected produce as well. I know that there's been some crop failures in my area because of the rain. Certain things that normally do well just kind of drowned because of the sheer amount of rain. Rice vinegar. Quite a bit of rice vinegar. This is supposed to be like an acidic thing. Yeah, potatoes. The potatoes have not looked good this year. I too have been having issues with potatoes. And the prices of potatoes all just kind of went up around me as well, which I was not thrilled to see. So I'm wondering if we just have a potato issue. I don't have a big chili flake aside from the Laogan Ma. And that's not a bad thing, but do I want Laogan Ma in this? Or do I want to go with a chili? No, I do. I do. Even as I was saying it, I was realizing that I definitely want Laogan Ma in everything. Stuff is fantastic. So we're just going to throw in a nice scoop of that. We're going to stir this thing around. And we're going to give it a little bit of olive oil as well, because it does want a little bit of that flavor profile. I got a different olive oil this time. It's nice. It's a nice olive oil. The packaging is terrible. This lid, this screw lid, does not fit properly. And the metal in the lid is so soft that if you overscrew it, it just slips. So while the actual product is nice, they really skimped on the bottle, which is unfortunate. Okay, we're going with my fingers. We're going in with my fingers for this part. Oh. That beep was our pizza. Let's go check on it. It'll survive a moment while I wash my hand real quick. A lot of bowls today. Okay, we're gonna take a peek at our pizza, see how it's doing, decide whether we want to add our peanut sauce and give it a quick finish, or if we're just going to say it's done enough. Woo, it rose quite a lot. This is what it looks like. It certainly needs a little bit more time. I've got a bit of a lake in the middle. I think our banana sauce was too wet. I'm not a big fan of. I thought we had gotten away with that. Since it's going back in, and I also think we're going to hit the top of it a bit right at the end. The crust really poofed up on us. But it also certainly needs some more time. Not too much more time. Looking at that chicken, maybe I should have cooked it a little bit further in the pan. I'm tempted to give this a shot under the broil, just to kind of force it to brown on the top. So yeah, the timing was pretty good, except that I needed to put it back in. So now we do have a slight lag at this point. So I suppose I will just take a quick opportunity to clean up around the kitchen here. Cheese can go away. As can the rice vinegar. Cucumbers can get transferred into their own new... Actually, no. They're not going to get bagged. They're going to get taken out of the plastic entirely and left out in the air so that they don't get creepy. That way, if they start to go off, they just dry out instead of getting slimy. I didn't end up using the shallot or the lime. Lime can live there. Remainder of our cabbage goes back in the fridge. Cabbage keeps forever in the crisper drawer. Basil. I don't normally buy basil like that, so I'm not sure how you're supposed to keep it. This, that, other thing. Knock over a bunch of stuff. But no, I knocked over an extra stuff. Knocked over the star anise. Gross. Knife, clippers. Yeah, okay. We're looking pretty good. We're looking pretty good. I'll keep my peanut sauce out. We shan't need the board or knife anymore. Some squeaky brakes happening out front. We have the window open up there because it's cool enough to open the window. I did not set the timer for this second stint in the oven. I still think I want some browning on top, and we can either bake it until we naturally get browning on top, which is the better way to do it, or we can force it with the broiler, which we honestly probably should not do because I want to also give the chicken as much chance as possible to kind of naturally brown on top. Our oven is also pretty darn hot, anyways. So we're kind of just hanging out here for a few minutes, waiting for the pizza to be done and ready. I timed everything perfectly except the putting the pizza back in after checking on it part. Up to that, it was perfect. I don't have another thing to fill time. We can chit chat for just a moment. How's it going? What's new? How's life? What's for dinner? What's for breakfast? I don't know. Scapegoat was in the middle of the night. What's for midnight snack? Depending where you are. Boy, the activity feed today has done a billion things. it's going ups and downs. I feel that in my very soul. I have had quite a few downs recently, and I'm excited for the ups to come in and sort of balance the scale. On the other plus side, my sleep has definitely corrected. That's a good sign, because at least I can do things during the day. Last week was such a nightmare. I was so tired. I was up all the time, but I couldn't do anything. Because I was so tired. But we've worked that out. I've got a whole system. I've got a night ritual. I have a cup of ginger and chamomile tea. I turn all the lights off. Everything real dim. Just enjoy that for a little while, and you get so relaxed, and you put the air conditioner on so that it's like cold, and you get in your cozy bed. It's so nice. Let's take a peek. Let's take another peek. Oops. At the pizza. Ooh! Tell you what. The color has improved. We have naturally occurring little charred bits on our chicken. The bubbling wet from our sauce has disappeared. We have some natural browning. We've faked some of the browning because of the peanut sauce has formed some natural brown spots. But there are some real ones in there too. It was a combination. The chicken's not quite riding up as much as I thought it was going to be, which I don't hate. It kind of looks more incorporated. I was afraid it was going to be really like just bits resting on top. But it really, the way the crust rose up and the cheese melted, it all kind of combined and sank together. I like the look of it at this stage. I should have checked how much additional time that was, because this looks on point to me. I suppose I should. Why do I keep? Every time I turn around, I just automatically put my pot holders back in the drawer when I keep wanting to use them again. I'm going to give it a little jiggle. Oh yeah, there's no soft spot in the middle. We are looking good on that regard. It could potentially stand just a little bit more time, but I don't think I want to push it. I think it's good enough as is. Let's get it off of the pan. Before we get it off of the pan, I do want to take a picture of the entire intact pizza over here under the brighter light. Unless I want to take this in to do the full workup on the camera station? Probably not. Probably not worth it. Oh, my battery is low. Be judicious with our photos because my battery is getting kind of low here. Okay, now we pull out our green screen, which is still not quite big enough. I need a bigger cutting surface for things like this. Here's my cheat. You know what I almost did? And I didn't because I felt like I would be awkward. I did it because it felt awkward. But I almost went to a local pizza place and just asked for an empty box to put this in a box for the presentation. That sounded cute to me. I'm using the pizza stone, which we did not use for cooking. As you can see, I'm touching it, it's cold, as the cutting board and serving tray, because it's got these little handles. So let's get under our pizza and get it off onto this. We definitely have a little bit of sticking in some places, probably thanks to all the sweet elements that went in here, but our nonstick pan did its job. Pizza. Hey, it's a pizza. I should have kept my phone in here. We're gonna take a photo of this. I think this will be a slightly nicer photo as well. And then we cut and taste, and then because it's a pizza, I can do photo station stuff after the fact without having to interrupt for you guys. So we do it live. We do it right here. It's not soupy. When I'm cutting it, I can smell the banana. I can distinctly and unsubtly smell the banana, which is got a little bit of cheese pull. Pull them apart so that the middle can steam out a little bit. It looks great. Everything's cooked. It's so steaming hot that I'm not going to burn my mouth on that. At least not just immediately right away. We'll burn my mouth slightly afterwards. You know what would be a good plating is to just put our pizza salad right in the middle as like a little pile. Right? That sounds like a good plating. I'm doing it. Okay. One more time, let's take a photo. Then I'll jump in on the tasting. I promised I wouldn't. Well, I said I wouldn't. I suggested I wouldn't. But I'm totally bringing this over to the camera station and doing a full workup because I feel inspired by putting the thing right in the center. So let's take a quick photo in the good light, under the good light. Okay, and then I don't need to take one later because taking a picture of just one slice is kind of lame. Okay, now we're doing the tasting. And apparently, we're doing a tasting for just a couple of you. Alpha Fem, you're back. Your color changed? Your color changed. Well, you're back just in time because this is the finished product with my little pizza salad nest in the center. And extra satay sauce on the side. Let's have at it. It's so hot. Okay. First things first, it needs a little more of this stuff. Let's have another nibble with some fresh peanut sauce on it. Yes. Okay. Yes. Fresh peanut sauce right at the end after it's baked. That's the time to add it, not before. Fresh drizzle right on the end. Okay, what do we got? First of all, you can tell when I pick it up that we got a nice crispy bottom. It stands straight out. So we got a nice crispy pizza crust bottom, despite all of our wet toppings. It is. I'm gonna pace back and forth a little bit while I talk. It is spicy, and it is savory, and it is cheesy. But coming in first place ahead of all that, it is sweet. It is distinctly sweet, but not in like a dessert sweetness. The first thing that hits you is the banana. The banana is not an afterthought on this dish. The banana is front and center. And then the salty and the spicy come in, and the cheesy come in behind that. They're supporting actors. This is a banana pizza, for sure. in a way that the one we made before super was not. The banana on the old original version was an afterthought, tasted like an afterthought. You could hardly taste it. It drowned in the tomato sauce. The structure we've got going on here, the banana is the star of this show, despite very flavorful chicken, because it's not. I think if we minced the chicken up and into smaller bits and scattered it more evenly, you'd get more chicken in every bite. But since it's not there, what you're getting are these bursts of the flavorful, savory chicken in between the overall sort of low-level, sweet, savory pizza that we're going with. And I think that this is where the pizza salad is meant to shine as well. Because the pizza salad is acidic. And crunchy. The pizza salad gives us a crunchy texture. It gives us an acidity. It gives us a little bit of an oiliness that is not present in the rest of this pizza. And it gives us a freshness that you obviously can't get from a baked thing. I'm gonna write this one down. Oh, I need to get that website up and going so I can put my recipes out there so you guys can see them. Because this one is a winner. This one needs to be written down. Top quality. And our chicken did cook. I bit that piece in half so we could see the inside. Well, Jay, you were right. This one was a winner. I'm surprised at how banana forward it is. I don't think I would change that because it tastes of banana. There's no mistaking that it's banana forward, but it doesn't just taste like you're eating a banana. It tastes like the banana is just being the star of this show, which I love. Honestly, it did not come out how I was expecting. I thought it would be good. I thought that the chicken satay was going to end up being the star, and the banana sauce was going to sort of fall to the background and be a sort of a supporting actor here. Other way around for sure. I don't know what else to say about it, except that I have gotten hungry in the time that it's taken to make it. So we're going to have to cut and let me eat this thing. But darn, that one's a winner. I'm extremely impressed and surprised. I love being surprised in a positive way from my own things, and this one is a surprise. Yeah, so I guess that means we're going to wrap it up. Since I've done the tasting and we're not doing an additional single plating with this, this is the plating. Yeah, time to nosh. So, but I feel like I'm not going to raid out tonight because with all the ups and downs, we're down to just Jay. Which is appropriate, being just Jay. So I think we're just going to close down the stream and not do a raid out tonight and just call it a night. So, thanks for all the support. Thanks to Jay. Thanks to, we'll scroll back. do a reverse on all of this stuff. Thanks for the successful hype train. Thanks to Twitch for the bonus bits. Thanks to Scapegoat for a giant emote. Jay for just some bits with no thing attached. I appreciate it. Scapegoat for a celebration. Twitch for some bonus bits. Scapegoat for subscribe. Jay for subscribing. AlphaFem for subscribing. And Sizan right at the start for a moisten and a first. Gosh, this has been exciting. I guess people are busy this evening. It is Friday the 13th. So maybe we're getting spooked. There's that fruit fly. I didn't get him. Thanks for sticking with me right to the end. And as I said, I'm not going to raid out tonight. We're just going to close it down. So I guess have fun, and I'll see you next week. Goodbye. Where's my... I don't have a good way. We're going to awkwardly just cut and freeze.